so-called flying saucers.
There's a whole fleet of them. Look on the ASA. It's rotating.
Welcome to Kill the Stigma. So today we're going to be talking about missing scientists. This has gone mainstream. Apparently now Trump vows to get answers on the missing scientist. Look, he vowed to do the same with the alien files. And you know what? Pete Hegseth couldn't even please his friend, Anna Paulina Luna, okay? This is how insane this is. She gave him a deadline for those 46 videos. In that briefing that these people got in Congress somehow connects to this missing scientist stuff, because there was like nothing happening in the UAP field. And then this happened. The general goes missing. This was in the middle of a drone flap as well. The mystery drones. This is kind of in the middle. Remember, it was an advanced laser weapon used in El Paso, which I made a video about, and Trump did say we took that drone down. They blamed it with cartels, and they said it was a party balloon. I mean, it's a meme, right? It's a meme. The balloon is a meme thing, and we knew that this was in the middle of the drone flap. I mean, I posted a video the same day of the mystery drones in Minnesota. What the hell, Texas, Minnesota? Like, I've done that 16-hour drive, bro. To El Paso is probably way longer than Houston. That's kind of far away, so how are these things everywhere at the same time? Back to the missing scientist. General McCaslin goes missing the next day. Now, I don't know, it's almost like he wanted to disappear. Then, because he took his gun and he left. It's so fascinating. Then Monica, we got new information on that. Please follow this channel, All Things Unexplained. They're on top of this. They're really on top of this, and I can't believe they only have 500 views. What? Like, WTF, go give him a follow. I'll link the link down below. And he kind of teaches it out, and I'm not going to spoil it for you guys, but he connects other scientists to this, which is fascinating. So, yeah.
I'm quite frankly,
Hey, do you want to be on my show?
American scientists who have either gone missing or died since mid-2024. They all reportedly had access to classified nuclear or aerospace material. Is anybody investigating this to see if these things are connected?
I've seen the report, Peter. I haven't spoken to our relevant agencies about it. I will certainly do that, and we'll get you an answer. If true, of course, that's definitely something I think this government and administration would deem worth looking into, so let me do that.
This is Dr. Mouse, and welcome back to All Things Unexplained. I've got an update on the Monica Reza and General Neil McCaslin missing case, as there are new reports of a death to another NASA scientist, and you will not believe what I discovered on how he connects back to Reza and McCaslin. But first, an update on the Monica Reza case. Monica Reza went missing on a hike in the Angeles National Forest in California in June of 2025. And I realized something recently watching a Netflix show called Untamed. Untamed is about a murder in Yosemite National Park, and an investigator for the Park Service starts looking into the mystery. And that kind of blew my mind, because I had no idea that the Park Service themselves have their own investigators. So All Things Unexplained, we submitted a FOIA request for records that the National Park Service might have on the Monica Reza disappearance. And we have gotten a response, though it wasn't exactly what I was expecting. So from the USDA, that's the United States Department of Agriculture, the Forest Service, and the Pacific Southwest Region Law Enforcement and Investigations, this is what they sent me. This letter is in response to your Freedom of Information Act request dated March 18th, 2026, and received by the USDA Forest Service Pacific Southwest Region FOIA Service Center on March 19th, 2026. You specifically requested records related to the disappearance of Monica Reza, a 60-year-old hiker reported missing on or about June 22nd, 2025 in the Mount Waterman area of Angeles National Forest, California. Ms. Riza was last seen near Double Delight on the Upper West Ridge Trail after becoming separated from a companion, and was last seen wearing a red long-sleeve shirt. A personal item believed to belong to Ms. Riza, a beanie, was reportedly located in a steep ravine in Devil's Canyon on or about June 23rd, 2025. Now, based on some other cases that All Things Unexplained is looking into, I feel like it's a given that the national parks did have an investigator also looking into this case. But according to their response, Forest Service staff on the Angeles National Forest conducted a search for responsive electronic and hard copy records. No responsive records were identified from that search. The request was then referred to the Pacific Southwest Region Law Enforcement Investigations, LEI, also conducted a search for responsive electronic and hard copy records. No responsive records were identified from that search. Okay, so that is a little puzzling.
From Eric Burleson, congressman from Missouri. Eric Burleson is out there on the internet doing how many interviews, I don't know, about UFOs and UAP, and he's got David Grush working for him. David Grush is the UAP whistleblower from 2023 who's sick that we have crashed material, and he's probably one of the most credible whistleblowers on the topic, and he was the one that took us to the next level. So they're gonna connect all these scientists to UAP, and it's really a three-body problem, Vive. For me personally, it is. Nothing else makes sense, but our government, or somebody's taking these people down, and these people are scared. But who and why? And then it's almost like who, I don't know, man. I hope we can get to the bottom of it. I'm not convinced, even though it's like, oh, like Trump is vowing to get to the bottom of this. I mean, what if there's a government within a government, right? Like something like stronger. And who are these people? Why? Why can't, would Pete Hegseth be stronger than Luna? I'm sorry, than whoever in the bureaucracy that didn't pass the message. I don't think so. Let's see what Eric's got to say.
Burleson, who is calling for the FBI to get involved. Congressman, when did you first find out about this?
My office found out about it last year. We sent a letter to the FBI about a gentleman named Matthew Sullivan, who actually we had reached out to. He was scheduled to come in for an interview. Within 2 weeks, he had suspiciously committed suicide. That report was referred to the Office of Inspector General. They deemed it credible and urgent. They then referred it to the FBI. So this is not the first that we've heard of this. That was the first that we became aware of. When I first came in, I heard of another gentleman, and I'll keep that name to sure. Out of respect. I sent a letter to the FBI investigating the suspicious suicide of another individual who had worked alongside, other whistleblowers like David Grush and Jake Barber who had come forward. So their colleague is mysteriously committed suicide. We've already sent the letter to the FBI to investigate that, and that is an ongoing investigation.
16 months.
Congress, Burleson is dropping bombs. Like, he's like basically saying, like, these guys were paranoid about dying. They were whistleblowers. And I mean, this has reached mainstream. It's like literally in the White House. Like, everybody's interested. All my friends are asking about this right now. So like, literally and he's just saying like, yeah, this guy was paranoid about losing his life, and bam, committed suicide with 3 shots in the back head or some shit like that. Just something insane. And there's always been allegations about this, he says, but this is finally, they got some direct evidence. And yeah, the implications are insane, but I don't want to be negative, but these things usually remain a mystery. I don't think there'll be an answer. I hate saying that. But it's not normal. If it's what I think it is, it's not like it's not gonna be like a normal serial killer. It's a little bit more complicated. And it would be such a scandal. And the problem is that the people that are behind it seem to have some sort of way of not getting caught, maybe some advanced technology themselves. I don't know, dude. I don't know, but it's like high-grade professional stuff. And I mean, think about it. How are people just vanishing? I mean, you could, I guess. I don't think it's. I don't understand. And I hope we get some answers. I hope it's like just a foreign adversary like Russia, right, or something. But it doesn't make sense because there's also Chinese scientists missing. God knows that there's Russian. I don't know. It's happening all over the world.
You mentioned the 6 American scientists, and this is where it gets really wild. This is the article that I'm getting ready to drop at NatSec Guy on Emerald.tv. I went in and I found that in mid-March 2026, 3 of China's top defense scientists, Zhao Jingkang, who's a nuclear weapons expert, Wu Manqing, who's a radar and metamaterials expert, Wei Yiyan, who is a missile systems expert, they were all quietly erased from the Chinese Academy of Engineering's website, which means they're no longer among the living. Then, just a few days after that, hypersonics expert Yan Hong, who's one of the key figures working on plasma aerodynamics, died suddenly at just 56 years old. So now what I did is I took that list of 5 Chinese scientists and I paired it with what those 6 scientists, American scientists, were working on, and they have massive overlap. So what these scientists for the Americans were doing for our military, these 4 or 5 Chinese scientists were doing for their military. So what that tells me is that, and this is the conclusion of, spoiler alert, this is the conclusion of my essay. What this tells me.
Chinese, I ain't trying to repeat those names, man. I'll tell you that. But there's also Chinese scientists missing, and they overlap in what they were doing. So total 3 body problem vibes. Definitely a mystery. Fascinating story though, and it's gotten all the way to the executive branch. The FBI is probably looking at these. The mainstream media is in, all right, and if they start finding scientists, we might actually get some answers, which I was really negative before. What concerns me is that the people behind these incidents are, man, I don't know, they're almost just mysterious. Like, I almost want to blame like Men in Black kind of fucking style, like, you know, like these. No, but it's definitely not. Look, that's a lie. It's not Men in Black, because like we've gotten the guy that went and killed one of the scientists in the middle of nowhere. That wasn't a Man in Black. That was a normal dude. So like, what's up with that? And why did the police let him go? That's a whole nother case. But look, these are legit people, okay? They're not like invisible dudes in black suits. But I hope we get to the bottom of it, right? And who is behind these? Like, and I think it's gonna get weird, but it's definitely interesting. It's heating up. Please follow David Paulides. I'm gonna show you the clip of what he said now. What he says is very important, especially coming from him. And also follow All Things Unexplained. They do the work, man. They actually put in a lot of effort in there. I'll let the links below. Thanks.
Now, the details on this entire incident are more restricted than almost any search and rescue I've ever seen. They never said if she was carrying a cell phone. They did say, the sheriff said, that there was no SOS sent from anywhere in that area. Because your cell phone, most new cell phones can send SOS messages via satellite from anywhere. They never said what supplies she had with her. They refused to name the people that she was hiking with. And the most troubling part to me is they refuse to release maps of the search areas that were covered by the county search and rescue workers. It's been a long time since I've seen them failing to release these records of search areas. Because when someone's not found, volunteer searchers come in. Family hires professional searchers to come in. And what happens is they look at the search maps of what has been covered, and then they cover the harder areas that weren't covered. But when search and rescue refuses to release the search zone maps, they're hurting the families and the friends who want to search other areas, not go over areas that have already been covered. Now, the sheriff classified this as an at-risk disappearance. Why? At risk of what? Was she taking medication and she needed medication immediately? Was that what she was at risk from? Was someone stalking her? Why not say what the issue is? They didn't, and they refused to. Private parties searched for many days after this. If Monica was issued...
All right, sorry for that last edit there. It's just that I don't think I let him say that he was looking at this Monica case. Now, I'll let the link below, no big deal. But for him to say that this is the case with the most restrictions he's ever seen, then why the secrecy? And this is before this went mainstream. This is before General McCaslin went missing. And we know that the general connects directly with Monica. Directly, there's no question about that. So why, who's putting all these restrictions below? And what's going on with the people that were hiking with her? All right, like, why can't we find out what the hell happened? Why won't they talk? Is it because the story doesn't add up and it's so weird that, oh yeah, because they're saying that she just vanished out of nowhere. She was there one moment, bam, gone. No rational explanation. So, is it because it's like there's no explanation, there's nothing to say? Is it just because they don't want the heat, or like they don't want the attention? Which I get. Like, imagine like every reporter wanting to talk to you. I get that. Or is it because there's like something to fear, you know, some sort of danger that we're not aware of or something? Or, I don't know, but look, the interest ain't going away. And also, what do you guys think about the Chinese scientists? Why are Chinese scientists missing too? Is it shadow boxing from the United States and China? And it just seems a little bit weird to do it like this. I'm not really sure, man. But I'm just really happy that this reached the mainstream news because everybody's interested now on this story. Everybody is. And, you know, eventually, like, where's it gonna go? I'll tell you what, Donald Trump ain't telling us shit. I mean, he might say, in 2 weeks I'll give you whatever. He's not. So, you know what they're gonna say? What the conclusion is gonna be? That they have no answers, that they're not, in fact, expect them to be that there's no evidence. This is what it's gonna say. There's no evidence to connect this to UAP research, or there's no evidence to connect that these murders are all, or missing cases are all connected. Even though the research areas they work in are like fascinating and overlap, they might say that there's no evidence to connect them. And it's gonna be something like that, okay? So don't get excited about that stuff. And also, what do you guys think about, like I said, the Chinese scientists going missing? We gotta get more information on that. Anyways, that's all I got. Thank you for listening.